What's up, guys? Rolling solo today. Andrew is, of course, away and out of commission, so just sharing my lonely old thoughts today. So I want to talk about the idea of gaming workouts and sort of missing the trees in the forest. I'm not actually sure which way that saying is supposed to go, but thinking about it in just the wrong amount of context, that you end up not getting what you're supposed to out of this. And the reason why this is so in the forefront of my mind is because of my own behavior in the CrossFit Games Open. So in the first workout, 16.1, overhead walking lunges, all that kind of stuff, the first time I did it, I was a little bit sore, wasn't feeling amazing, got goaded into it a little bit, like, hey, we should do it right now. I was like, oh, okay, that's fine. And I went after it, and I did as well as I could, and I gave it a full effort, and I was pretty pleased with my score. But then it starts to seep in a little bit, you know, like, oh, I can do a little better, and this person out in CrossFit land did better than I did, and all this stuff. And so I start thinking about, okay, I can do a little better. And I was like, I'm going to get one more round. And what did I do to get one more round? Well, I thought, okay, so I'm going to place a plate underneath where I do my pull-ups, and that way I won't have to jump quite as high. And I'm going to get my bar closer to the thing so that, and immediately I was doing things in the preparation for the workout that had nothing to do with my fitness, right? I'm only as fit as I am, and doing those things would artificially perhaps inflate my score, but it wouldn't reflect my fitness or my ability to mentally push myself or something like that. And so all of these things, and the classic example that I think that gets used is like, okay, I'm going to do pull-ups, and right when I drop for my last pull-up, I'm going to drop onto my rower and slide my feet in one fell swoop so that I can get right into my row. And it's like, that doesn't measure fitness, that measures the coordination of equipment, right? So something that also sticks with me, I don't know if you guys know Brian Huberty. He's a friend of the gym. He owns CrossFit Oakdale down in Oakdale, of course, and he's been out to a bunch of our competitions. And Andrew asked him one time, like, hey, what's your strategy for the workout? And he said something to the effect of, hey man, I only got one speed. I'm just going to go as fast as I can. And that's something that stuck with me, to say, like, look, what are we trying to accomplish here? Okay, we're trying to get a physical response using tools to get a conditioning response to encourage and promote our fitness. And taking the test over and over again, gaming the WOD to get a better score, is kind of like that person that goes like, oh yeah, I got a perfect score in the SATs, and they're like one of those professional SAT takers, and they study all the time, and it's like, what does that actually do? What does that measure? So I know there's a divergence in the road. If you're competing, or if you're working towards some sort of like shaving off milliseconds and stuff, for some end like that, that's totally fine. I mean, I think there's also a saying that says, if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying, that type of thing. So basically saying, like, trying to get every corner so that you can be the best. But let's face it, all of us in here, we're doing this for fun, we're doing this for overall wellness. No one is going to give Ben Smith or Rich Froning a run for their money, or Sam Briggs or whoever it is that won. We're in here for enjoyment, we're in here for fitness. So anytime you make a decision in here, I want you to think of, how does this benefit my fitness? Okay. Now there's some things, like if you need wrist wraps to do a movement, that's not cutting corners. That's safety. That's overcoming an obstacle. Same thing with using equipment, weightlifting shoes and stuff like that. But if it gets to this sort of constructed version of the workout that you can't do it unless it's just in this perfect configuration, think about what you're trying to accomplish. So much so that something I try and do when I have the discipline and patience to do this is make the workout inconvenient on purpose. So don't wear my weightlifting shoes on purpose. Use a faraway bar on purpose. Don't do butterfly pull-ups on purpose, because I just want to do it for the sake of doing it and just go as hard as I can. So that being said, the Open is great. We encourage you to guys do the workouts a second time if you want to. If you think that there's some linchpin where you're like, you know what, I can go harder. But in all these workouts, in all the stuff that we do in here, we never want it to be, you know what, I am going to construct this workout in a manner that allows me to go faster, but isn't reflective of my fitness. Hope that makes sense, guys. I hope that's instructive. Just something that's been on my mind and something I'm terribly guilty of. So, yeah. Thoughts, feedback, comments, concerns, we'd love to hear about it, answer questions. Go out, hit those open workouts hard, guys. Think one and done. Go out and hit it. Give it a draw. 16.3 coming up.